Okay, pretend it's Thanksgiving and this bread is a turkey.
Oh my gosh. We're back once again. Much like the Backstreet Boys, just not as attractive or successful.
Hey, speak for yourself. I could definitely be one of them.
Ross, the mysterious other member of the Backstreet Boys.
That's right. The bad boy.
Which monster were you in the music video?
Oh, God. I can't remember that music video now. I don't know.
Creature from the Black Lagoon is probably one of the only ones I could think of not taken.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll do that. Why not?
Yeah.
Ladies love that.
Hot swamp monsters.
Yeah, everybody loves a swampy guy, you know?
Well,
hey, that was the whole
really
basis
shredded
of
swamp
what
monster.
that movie, Shape of Water, wasn't it?
Sure. Yeah.
I it's my understanding current women are really into giant minotaur men,
Oh, totally.
as is the standard today.
God, just completely unreasonable. Like, how can men keep up with that?
The unrealistic expectations of hot minotaur men.
Yeah.
What, you expect us to
can
be
never
that?
compete.
I know. We need to change advertising to be more like the common man, non-minotaur like.
No, you know, just dudes. Human, if you will.
That book is selling like crazy.
Oh, I know. And it's terrifying.
You don't want to read
Very terrifying.
the lewd fantasy book?
No, I'm not a fan of romanticy smut. I'm okay.
What's happened to modern women? Good Lord. Of course, we had was it the 50 Shades of Grey? So it's not that surprising.
Yeah, sure. Downright classy in comparison.
Yes, compared to the new stuff, 50 Shades of Grey is Shakespeare.
Very funny to me.
Really, really sad.
High class novels. But we're flying once again through space. I was going to have snow, but it doesn't seem to stay. See, I can activate snow. And see, now we have snow, but it kept disappearing on me. Maybe it'll stay.
All I see is Discord, man.
It disappeared.
Yeah, all I can see is Discord, man, so...
well, let me fix
it.
it.
We'll just say yes.
Just know the snow looks beautiful, right?
I don't know what I'd have to put it into the video. Well, it's a special podcast once again.
Mm-hmm.
We missed last week, not intentionally, but because I don't have a door and Brett's life spins out of control. When look, don't ask questions. Don't get into the details. We are a mysterious group of people on the internet.
Everything's fine.
Doors are for the wealthy.
It's bourgeoisie to have doors, and red is a true comrade.
I am the member of the proletariat.
Oh yeah, the only member. Really,
The
no one can
YouTube
be more
working class
proletariat than you.
will rise up and just evenly
Seize the
distribute
means of
doors.
production.
Seize the means of doors and evenly distribute them. Me and Hassan, we're going to take over the internet.
Comrades.
We are the comrades.
That's right.
Oh, goodness. But we did have Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was special.
Yes.
I had a heretical, unclean, and unholy Thanksgiving. Unlike the rest of the world.
Yeah, you were really down on your Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, I was
Personally,
really
I think
critical.
it's awesome.
And, well, because those who don't live here and can make it on time can screw off. We're not moving Thanksgiving just so you can make it. The rest of us can't eat on the correct day. So we had it Saturday, hence the problem.
That's not a fan.
No, I'm not a fan. I am not a fan of it's wrong to have it on the wrong day. It's wrong. I ate
Truly.
turkey late. It was the whole thing.
It's just a whole nightmare.
Well, but since we haven't been here 2 weeks, I assume people have interesting things to say instead of boring stuff. So, Jason, what have you been up to for 2 weeks?
Well, I watched an anime called Megazone 23
That
last
sounds
week,
terrible.
and well, no, it wasn't terrible, but it had a really funky premise. So it's from the 80s, I think it is. Yeah, 1985, and it looks like, a typical 80s. It opens up in Tokyo, guys driving around on a motorcycle. You come to find out that he's actually in a spaceship that is simulating 1985 because that was the best time, and they are being attacked by other people who fled a destroyed Earth, and these other people are attacking them to get their resources because it's a whole resource war thing. And he gets a motorcycle that turns into a mecha. That kicks everything off, and then he finds out they're actually in a spaceship. So, like I said, it was from the 80s, and you could tell the animation was definitely from the 80s. But yeah, it was an interesting twist from, hey, opens up, it looks kind of like it might be a slice of life thing, and then suddenly it's robots and space, and yeah, it was weird. Apparently they made
Oh, yeah.
2 more. I only watched
Oh.
part 1.
Weird. It's kind of prophetic.
Yeah.
The best times for Japan were the 80s.
Peak Japan.
Peak J.A. Pan Company.
You think samurai? No.
No. Nowhere that I could just be randomly beheaded and it's culturally okay. That's a bummer.
All right.
Actually, I think it's called Megazone 23. It just looks like Megazone 23, but I'm looking at the cover now and it says Megazone 23.
Still sounds horrific. Who am I to say? I've seen some terrible anime.
Red has watched only
It
the
wasn't
finest
bad.
anime.
It was just really weird.
Anime is a mess of horrible
yeah.
premises and bad storytelling, and like Japan is
terrible titles.
well, yeah, and Japan is not afraid to be silly and confusing when it comes to the anime that they do. Because they are willing to just waste the money on being ridiculous. Like, silly Japan is very silly. Especially for a society that's very closed off and polite and...
Yeah. You wouldn't expect them to be as ridiculous as they are sometimes.
Well, when you have...
You just kind of feel that they're so buttoned down.
Well, when you have a society that's so buttoned down, you have to express yourself in some way. That's why Britain comedy was so silly, is because they were in such a class society for such a long time.
Mhm.
I mean, people in Britain, even today, despite the fact that the class society so-called doesn't exist, still kind of exists.
Yeah, very true.
Like, just walking around,
Yeah.
there's still sort of a division between those higher than the rest of them.
Yes.
Much like
Filthy
Ross.
peons.
Get your monocle and start marching in.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
Jason talked about the relevant things about Thanksgiving, the weird anime he watched. Ross, how were things?
Oh, really? My girlfriend came down, and we enjoyed a Thanksgiving dinner with the family here. It was nice, you know. We watched some terrible Christmas movies the day after Thanksgiving,
Ooh, how
like
terrible are we
romance Christmas
talking?
movies, which are my favorite. I love the Hallmark style. Uh,
Oh,
and it's just great to just watch trash after you loaded yourself up on food.
Either
my
So
favorite.
the girl who left town and then comes home for Christmas and finds out that the homegrown guy is better than the guy she was with,
yeah, that's
Oh
right.
yeah.
or the guy from out of town comes back and she's the homegrown girl and she's like, "Ooh, new guy who's come back into my life," or some
My
variation.
favorite Christmas movies are um, Die Hard and Nightmare Before Christmas.
God, you're such an edge lord. Edge Lord Jason.
Those are strange choices as well.
Personally, I prefer the classics, you know, Home Alone and
Yes,
I
Christmas Vacation.
Scrooged.
I do like It's a Wonderful Life.
Love it.
Um, and Home Alone is always it's a classic. It's a classic for a reason. It's always good.
The
Um,
the greatest Christmas story ever told is A Christmas Story, and the greatest version is
no,
Muppets Christmas Story.
yes, Muppets Christmas Carol is the best. Yes, I thought you were talking about You'll Shoot Your Eye Out Christmas Story. That one is trash. I hate that show.
What's
That
wrong
show
with you,
can burn.
The one thing we've learned over time is Jason's taken mental issues and has been hit in the head multiple times. Perhaps you'll survive the coming storm. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, Thanksgiving was lovely.
Cap Cruz also agrees. It was nice.
She better.
There's something nice about the weird. You know, you think, how could people keep watching those Hallmark movies all the time, and then you see
Basically
them.
recycled.
Well, it's my point is it's a comfort food. It's sort of a
Oh, yeah.
regurgitated. They find love and
Mhm.
it's charming, and then they have a little like moment in Christmas or whatever if it's a Christmas one.
My favorite is watching him and seeing how terrible the guy is at being small town guy, because he's very clearly like Los Angeles actor man, theater dude.
Or
It's very fun.
how fake the snow is.
Oh yeah. Oh, do you want to know a weird production company that's made a couple like that I've watched two of their like romance Christmas movies, and they're actually kind of fun. And that's The Asylum. Bet you never thought they'd make those kind of movies.
No.
Yeah, they super do. And they are always weird as hell and funny. And I love it.
Apparently one was weird and she fell into a snow globe.
Yes, she did. The other one was weird because she had a vision board of what she wanted her life to be, and it had Barack Obama on it, and her love interest just so happened to be a black guy. And that would be weird if that black guy ever found that vision board. I'm going to be honest.
Just get a vision board and put up pictures of World War II. I'm putting this out into the world, everybody.
Uh-huh. Just pictures of BARs, battleships.
I'm focusing my
Warfares.
energy into naval warfare.
That's right, boy.
Diesel submarines
Convoys.
all day. Convoys. Mass assault tactics combines armed strategies, tanks and
Amphibious
planes.
assaults.
Amphibious assaults. Poland?
We love it. Poland? Question mark.
Poland? Question mark. The future I see.
It all comes back to Poland.
Christmas. I've been playing some games. It doesn't really warrant. I finished off Spider-Man.
Oh, and you're starting your favorite DLC out here.
Well, it's first of all, it's a standalone. Second of all, it's a boosted. It's not as big a full game as you would anyway. I hate Miles Morales as a character. He killed one of my favorite.
But does he have the exaggerated swagger of a black teenager?
He killed my favorite run in with Spider-Man, at least at the time.
Yeah,
because I was reading the Ultimate Spider-Man comics.
Ultimate
Well,
Spider-Man
to be fair, the Ultimatum killed the Ultimate Universe at the time.
Yeah,
the Ultimatum event. And then Spider-Man survives everybody dying, and then he dies and gets replaced by Miles Morales, who I hated. And it was done tasteless. And so they've revamped his origin and had him change universes so he could be in 616. It's really stupid. Miles Morales Spider-Man is one of the worst characters. I get that this is unpopular. I understand this. I get that people love Into the Spider-Verse. I don't. I get that people love the character. I do not. Miles Morales is a terrible character, specifically because he can't stand on his own as a character. He steals the gimmick of other people. This is what happens with token characters. They steal the gimmick of other characters. I have no problem if they make a black superhero. I have a problem when they steal gimmicks of other characters because his legitimacy goes out the window. He doesn't have his own villains. He doesn't have his own stuff. All of his stuff is based upon the fact that, hey, remember this other popular character? Well, we're just going to copy that. I like Luke Cage. I like Black Panther. I don't like Miles Morales. He's one of the worst characters ever invented. Yeah, but Spider-Man... I hate it. Into the Spider-Verse could suck my balls. But because I've played so much Spider-Man, I started playing the Miles Morales game. It's fine. He's a nice guy, and they're doing good and whatnot. But you start to see little differences, like, they're fighting women criminals now instead of normal criminals. And so when you punch a lady, she's like, and you're like, oh, okay. And then he had to move apartments, and so his friend was like, well, why don't you make friends by going to a barber shop or go to a basketball court? And I was like, is this the most racist thing I've ever heard in my life? Like the assumption the only way black people can make friends is at a barber shop or a basketball court.
Try to find a cookout. Get invited to it.
Well, and then there are collectibles you could get, and one of the collectibles was the Secret History of America Nationalism or something like that. And you're like, all right, suck my balls, game. Like, the gameplay's fun because it's based upon the other already successful gameplay, but I know I'm going to hate it, and I guess I'm just playing it because I have Spider-Man bug at the moment, and I'm just going to play the next one and see what it's like. And the gameplay's fine. He's a nice character who saves people, but everything about it is just shit.
Yeah.
Miles Morales sucks. He's also not Spider-Man. They call him Spider-Man, and in the game it gets confusing. Because they're like, where's other Spider-Man? And he's like, oh.
Well, now they're supposedly giving him a new name to differentiate him from Spider-Man, but it's even more lame.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be something like Spinner.
Yeah. I don't know if it's Spinner or Spin, but they have to give him a name. They have to give him a separate... Every Spider-Man shooter, like Scarlet Spider, has a separate name, even though he's genetically the same person. Scarlet Spider has his own name. Spider-Woman has a different name. Like, they don't just copy the... Why? Because this tries to legitimize the character, make him seem like it's... See, he's the same thing. He's just as good. He's just as good.
But Rhett knows.
This Miles Morales is the equivalent of when you're asking for your parents something at the store, and they're like, "We have that at home."
Miles Morales is the, hey, we're just going to get the cheaper, less good version of the same thing you already have.
Exactly.
But I'll finish the game, I guess. It was an excuse to go to Spider-Man 2 and then also hate that one. Because I look forward to hating Spider-Man 2 after Miles Morales. I've got other stuff to play. Why am I playing this garbage?
Because, Rhett, you're a completionist at heart.
I know.
Yes, yeah, you are. I played that Marvel beat 'em up.
Yeah, I've nearly
yeah,
100%ed that game.
Trying to figure out Gary with certain characters.
The only thing I haven't gotten is like the multiplayer achievements, and there are like 3 of them. At its core, it's fun, and the animation's good, and the character models are good. The map is kind of boring, and the characters could be given more personality. And the character like choices are odd. Why Beta Ray Bill and not Thor? Why She-Hulk and not Hulk? They're just
horse-faced Thor.
Horse-faced Thor. Beta Ray Bill is one of the weirdest characters.
Very strange. Very strange choice.
Yeah. But what I mean, it's fine. I like me
they
some
have
beat 'em
Captain
ups.
America, and Iron Man, but
I mean, they have a lot of classic stuff, but Nova's fine. I am fine with like odd offshoot people. Even Rocket Raccoon, even though it would have been better with Star-Lord or Groot even. Yeah. But it's fine. It's just the weird choices are like Beta Ray Bill. It's just the weirder version of Thor. Just have Thor.
Yeah.
No.
Or have Beta Ray Bill as a skin for Thor. You know?
Yeah.
And it's a cliche to be like, well, we gotta have, if we're gonna have X-Men, it's gonna be Wolverine and Storm. Because you gotta have the one guy everybody likes, and then the girl that everybody is the best of the girls. And it's like, no Cyclops, who's technically leader of the X-Men. No, because everybody's edgelords and they like Wolverine. Oh, okay.
Yeah. No Nightcrawler.
Nope.
No Gambit.
No Gambit. Even though I prefer Nightcrawler and Gambit. But, whatever. We got to have Wolverine. And also, one of the heroes you get is Venom. Venom's not a hero. He's... Look, I get it.
So hard.
Wait, no.
I get it. Venom's cool. He's an edgelord character. Stop trying to make my villains heroes. Stop it.
Yeah, exactly. Venom was awesome as a villain. He needs to be a villain. Stop making him a hero.
They lack the capacity to understand that villains should stay villain. Every time they get a character that's entertaining enough, it's like, well, what if he now fights crime? He eats people. He's eaten people. How is he supposed to be a hero now? He's eaten people. Oh, this is a good guy. He is worse than Punisher. Punisher shoots them. He doesn't consume their corpses afterwards and hides the evidence. No, gotta have Venom in there, everybody. Well, might as well put Carnage in there. He helped an old lady across the street. He's practically a good person now. Serial killer Carnage. Well, it's because he's a serial killer, Cletus Cassidy. It's like, and Venom's not? How many people has he murdered? Oh, gotta save the innocents. What? He's designed like a villain. He has large teeth and he's slavering like he's going to consume. Anyway, We don't need to get the Marvel route of like, I have huge issues with a lot of Marvel characters, but it's not like they're doing well anyway, so who gives a shit?
True.
Marvel's on top of the world. What do you mean? They're set up perfectly for a new.
Their comics
Oh.
have been dumping for a long time now. They have
Decade.
mainline runs that are selling as well as comics they would have canceled like 10, 20 years ago.
Ouch. Ouch.
It's hilarious.
Nobody reads this
I-
stuff, and they've ruined it by damaging the characters with too many events, damaging the stories, not having death be permanent, not honoring the characters by throwing in weird sides. They've damaged their
Turning all
universe.
the good villains into good guys, and
Well, they should
coming
really
up with
just
really lame villains to replace them.
reboot. But the problem is when they rebooted with the Ultimate Universe, they destroyed it and replaced Spider-Man with Miles Morales. So
That's
no
favorite.
reboots. Anyway, we're pushing back the theme as I delay. Oh my gosh. So
you
the
can
big
do it.
news this week, which we can't escape, is what's happening. Oh my gosh, New York Times. Suck a big one. Oh my gosh, it's not opening. Well, so a certain thing has happened this week. It looks like, despite all of the negotiations and back and forth, that the shocking turn of events of Netflix won the bidding war over who gets to take control of Warner Discovery. No one was predicting Netflix, even though they have the money. No one was predicting Netflix because everybody was expecting Paramount to be sort of the winner
Yeah.
of this
So
thing.
remind me, when this first all started, wasn't Paramount the one that wanted them and Netflix didn't?
And then
That
it
was
changed.
the rumor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it changed?
Well, you're acting like we
So-
know enough about what's happening in the background. We don't know as much as you would think.
Right. No. I
But
just meant that we've been talking about this for a few weeks because it's been in the news off and on with like Warner Discovery not wanting Paramount to buy them out, which seemed weird. It's like, well, you've got a buyout offer. Why is it that you don't want that company and you want a different one?
well,
it
there are
because
reasons
you
for
were-
this. Let's get into it before we start speculating on stuff that we're just going to answer later.
All right.
So Warner is in dire straits. I think they have like $40 billion in debt.
Oh,
They
Oh,
don't
God.
they haven't. There's been a lot of failures on Warner Discoveries.
Yeah.
And,
Huge failures.
Warner Discovery is more than just the movies.
Yes.
Far more
Right.
than just the movies. They are a massive company
oh,
of
yeah.
epic scale.
They're video
They
games,
encompass
movies.
it. They encompass video games, movies, broadcast television, the
Yeah,
DC comics, the distribution, the streaming. The third largest streaming service is HBO, owned by Warner. They control massive brands like DC, Harry Potter, Lord of the
Yep.
Rings, Game of Thrones. I mean, huge IP names attached to their movie rights, but not just movie, but the streaming service and the network stuff. They own CNN. So this company's more than just, well, they've had a bad movie. This is a big company.
Right.
They own CW. CW hasn't been profitable at all. It's always been in the red. Always
Yeah,
been in the red.
like-
Even
They've been
inside.
hemorrhaging through that. CNN has been in a massive decline. So this is more than just, well, Superman sucks balls, so Warner Brothers. No, they're a poorly managed company encompassing huge amounts of employees with billions of dollars in value. It's a huge company.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I got derailed. Anyway, so rolling back, they've had a lot of failures across multiple parts of their company, not just the CW, but a lot of their big brands have not been successful, which we've
Yeah, it's
talked a
been
lot
kind of
about the movie
it's
end
been
of
kind of a
things.
perfect storm for idiocy and failure on their part. It's like every time they tried to put something out, they tripped over their own feet and failed
Well, once again,
miserably.
we're talking about a small portion of the company. Uh, and the movie end has been unsuccessful, especially with their large IPs that they own. Their
Well, I
television
was going to say the
distribution
movie
has been
and
unsuccessful.
the
They've,
video game and
well, sure, attached to their brands and stuff. I'm just trying to avoid implying that because Superman sucked balls, that Warner Brothers is going under. They are a poorly managed company across the board.
right.
And they're more than just the,
I
the
mean,
the movies that we care about.
CNN is hemorrhaging viewers.
Yeah, CNN has not been doing well for a long time. But once again, it's more than just CNN. They have a huge network. They own Discovery, which Discovery encompasses a lot of other stuff. Not Discovery Channel, but all the brands attached to it and all these other like they're a big multimedia corporation. And they've not been doing well financially. And so the head of the company has been shopping out, perhaps selling the company. Now, he would prefer selling the company wholesale.
Right.
Um,
Easier
and
to do
then
it that way.
possibly cutting off the Warner side of it, where he stays CEO of the Warner brand that's separate. I don't know if that's a possibility. The problem is most of these like Paramount wants to buy it wholesale and then grab a hold of control of a lot of these big brand name IPs. When we talk DC,
Yeah.
we're talking Superman and Batman being one of the biggest ones.
Mm-hmm.
But on
Why
top
would
of
you let any of that go? If you were in the market to buy Warner Brothers, Time Warner or Warner Discovery or whatever
it
whatever
used
the
to
heck
be
they're
Time
calling
Warner
themselves.
and it merged with Discovery and now it's Warner Discovery.
Well, and here's
Yeah,
the other
so-
thing, because here's the problem with spinning it off. Who gets to eat all the debt?
The company who
Yeah.
buys it. The debt doesn't go away. The company who
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so what? You spin it off, and you like Zaslav. Do you get to keep all the debt, or does the company that bought the other half get to keep it? Like, yeah, it's pretty much going to have to be wholesale. I would imagine.
Well, right, but here's the thing. Paramount wanted it because Warner's a big brand. Paramount, it stays within the studio system. Paramount has their own streaming service, and then they can merge it, if I guess, with HBO, which everybody forgets. HBO is the third largest streaming service.
Yeah,
period.
It's big.
It was a big bonus.
A big boost for Paramount.
And there was a lot of negative reception to this from Hollywood because the head of Paramount is kind of a Trump guy, or at least friends with Trump. So they saw this as MAGA and inserting itself into Hollywood and buying one of the biggest studios and distributions, because it's not just even the movies, it's the studio system. It's all these other, like there's a lot attached to Warner with this. And Paramount really wanted it. Paramount's not as big a company as Warner.
No.
But Warner is in desperate need
money to...
and has a lot of debt. And so Paramount's been eyeing it. Now Paramount, on top of that, a bunch of other feelers started put out. One company, Comcast, started to put out feelers that they were interested in buying it, so they started making offers. Now, initially expressing that they weren't interested, and then suddenly out of the blue starting to make offers was Netflix. Netflix has huge amounts of money, and the problem with Netflix is that Netflix isn't interested in a lot of Warner Discovery. In particular, they've expressed that they don't care about the network part of Warner Discovery. So the television side, the CNN, the CW, all of the Warner stuff on the side, they specifically said they're not interested in it, that they don't want it, sort of thing. And so a lot of people thought, well, Netflix won't get it because they want to sell it wholesale, and Netflix would simply chop it up So people put out offers, and Netflix offered $28 a share to buy out the company, but most of the offer was cash.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
So just buy out straight.
That's crazy.
And Netflix won the bid. Now, you might go, oh, because they were the highest bidder. No. Paramount, with the help of Saudi investors, believe it or not, offered more money at $30 a share.
Wow.
And
But it was that cash kicker.
I guess so, or whether or not he liked that he has a CEO future after Netflix, that they'll let him stay in charge of the Warner branch or whatever is going to happen behind the scenes. Like, deals haven't been struck entirely yet, but that Netflix won the bidding war. And a lot of people are sitting, like Paramount is literally talking to the investors going, they turned down more money per share for you guys because they wanted to give it to Netflix. Is this a good investment? Is this good decision making on Warner's part?
Well, from the investor standpoint, no. This is definitely not in their best interest because they're going to get less money. So obviously, the decision from Warner's standpoint was not how can we maximize the profit for our investors, which, to be honest, a lot of companies seem to have been doing that lately.
Well, and Netflix wins the bid. And so now we're in a situation where Netflix, which direction we go with this? So there's a lot of negative reception to this deal going through. And a lot of people are qualifying going like, look, the deal's not over. They haven't fully made the deal, but they won the bid. Here's the problem, though.
I mean, it could still fall through, sure.
Look, because they were chosen as the winning bid, in the contract it says if they back out, Netflix has to pay Warner $4 billion.
Wow.
So,
sorry,
$4 billion.
Oh God.
If they back
that's
out.
a drop in the bucket compared to what they're paying for the whole company, but yikes.
Well, the reason why that's in there is so that Netflix can't get cold feet and just walk away.
Right.
Yeah.
So
right.
so this is more like, so despite the fact that people are trying to go, oh well, the deal's not going through yet, it could still fall apart. That's true, but what kind of company like Netflix is willing to just throw away $4 billion over
$4 billion
over squabbling over minor things when it comes to the contracts?
Yeah.
A lot of
Netflix
things
is publicly traded now, right?
Yes, and a lot of things have to be decided behind the scenes as to what's going to happen. But that doesn't mean, because a lot of people are sitting here going, well, it could still fall through. And it's like, do you really think Netflix wants to eat $4 billion? It's like a wasted effort. Now, the funny thing is Netflix can actually afford to blow that $4 billion.
Yeah, they're one of the few that can.
Just to clarify, just so you know how big Netflix is, they've become so large that they are actually twice as big as Disney.
Wow.
With less employees.
That's hilarious.
They are the streaming distribution center. But
yeah.
So we'll see how the agreements and negotiations go through. The question then becomes, hey, we're talking about this huge deal with Warner and stuff. We're not really a business podcast. So why does this matter to us? Now, there are a lot of reasons why it matters to the internet and to public at large and whatnot. One of that is Hollywood's stance if they really don't like this deal. Like it's so much that they hate this deal and they've been clamoring at the administration to try and intercede that this is some sort of like antitrust issue and we're creating a monopoly because the largest streamer is buying the third largest streamer.
Yeah.
So you're creating a massive monopoly when it comes to streaming. Not that Netflix wasn't already way above everybody else, but buying the third largest, now you're creating megacore. owning everything.
What do you think they want to do with the network stuff?
I don't think they want it. They'll probably sell it, is my guess.
Yeah.
So they'll probably sell off, or the worst case scenario, they close it.
Yeah, and weirdly enough,
Can
that
you
almost
imagine
makes you
closing
wonder.
CNN?
Yeah, I mean, it makes you wonder if that keep them under the radar for like antitrust stuff too.
Well, and consider this as a possibility. If Netflix thinks that cable television is dead and the movie theaters are dead, you know what Netflix doesn't have? They don't have their own news.
No, they don't.
That's true.
They could have a 24-hour news
They could
on
do
Netflix
streaming on Netflix, yeah.
and just stream it through
Triple N.
Netflix. They
Netflix
could.
News Network.
I mean, I don't think they want it, but who knows?
No.
Maybe this is what they'll do. They own AEW and already have a deal with WWE, which is also fun.
But AEW is truly the crown jewel that they're going after, Red.
Yeah, I don't think they want AEW is the funny part.
What? What do you mean?
I think
it's the superior product, I've been assured by the internet wrestling community.
I think they want the IPs. I think they want HBO. I think they want a bunch of other. I don't think they give a shit about AEW or CNN.
No.
So my guess is they sell off a lot of these smaller portions. But Hollywood is really upset. James Cameron came out and said that this is horrific. This is a worst case scenario. People who are upset that Paramount, with a guy who's kind of friendly with Trump, was going to take over, and now they're begging that it's going to be Paramount because they're upset that this is going to be Netflix. Now, just ask yourself, why would Hollywood not want this to be a thing, Ross?
Well, Hollywood does have a
power.
history of not liking outsiders owning any part of the business. I mean, this we've seen this in decades gone by.
Yeah, this is
then it becomes the whim of something else, rather than
it's outside
being driven by its own business.
This is outside the studio business, the studio system.
Mm-hmm.
That's a point. What else?
Well, like I said, it's a power thing. They don't have the power anymore to dictate the trends and.
I mean that's a point, but it's not
to be told what the trends are.
That's a point, but it's not one of the bigger issues that Hollywood has with this.
I mean, one of the things is theoretically Netflix doesn't need to make new shows, right? Like, because if you look at Amazon, Apple, Netflix,
True.
Like they are outsiders to the studios. Like the studios exist to make movies. That's all. That is their job. Whether or not they're good at it.
And you know who's not putting stuff in theaters? It's Netflix.
No, so then they can't get their accolades, Rhett.
Nope, they can't. Oh. And all of the deals are through that the unions and stuff gain is through the theater system. And if you're obsessed with the theater system and you want to make sure movies stay in theaters, Netflix is the death of theaters.
Yeah, that's true.
They are the nail in the coffin of distributing your movies in theaters.
Yeah, because even Amazon will play ball, and Apple too will play ball more than Netflix.
Yep. Netflix doesn't care. In fact, Netflix thinks that the theater system is dead. They're here to bring about its demise.
Yeah.
Well, their whole model was bringing movies into people's homes, and this would be a reverse if they started bringing them back to the theater for them.
Yeah, I don't think they. I mean, I would be surprised if they have interest in that. I mean, I guess they're doing the final episode of Stranger Things in like you can go see it in theaters if you want, but I don't think that's a big major release that's going to be in theaters for a month.
No.
So that's just a special.
Especially if you could just watch it at home.
Well, and think about how Hollywood classically earns money. It gets distributed to theaters, and they get deals based upon how successful the movie is, and then DVD distribution. Guess what? Netflix doesn't do any of that. The money that they earn isn't even per ticket. They don't even get money per view on a video that they air on their show. It's per subscriber. How do you calculate, because a show's successful, how much money you should get paid? That's why the strike happened, because they were so concerned with the streaming system that they had to strike deals with places like Netflix and all these big streaming services. Because when the studio system dies and you're no longer getting a portion of the ticket sales, how do you demand a portion of the subscribers? Like, how is that calculated?
I mean, you could calculate that. You release a show on Netflix, and suddenly the subscriber rate shoots through the roof. You can.
How do you
tie
know
the-
it's based
the
upon your
increase in
show?
subscribers back.
Yeah.
What was that?
How do you know
How
it's
do you know
based
it's based
upon
on
your
that show? It could just be that there was a monthly, 20% off Netflix that month.
Or there was a trend where people were inside more, or there's a myriad of factors. And you might go, oh, well, you can look at the numbers, how much people are viewing stuff over other stuff. Netflix doesn't release those numbers, and they don't give a shit if Hollywood wants to know. They don't tell people who's viewing what. We don't know who's viewing what in Netflix. The best we can do is look through some other analytics that judge it based upon their portion sizes. But we don't know. And a lot of people subscribe, watch the show they want to watch, and cancel. So how do you distribute based upon new subscribers or consistent subscribers? Or like this, the system is completely different. The economic model is completely different. Being able to make deals where you get money on how many tickets sold down the line is not a thing anymore. Being able to make deals where you can look clearly at the numbers and then get paid for the success of, like, Netflix buys in chunk, and then they base a lot of their stuff off of like binge watching as opposed to like weekly distribution. It's a whole other thing. And this is outside
I'm not saying
Hollywood system.
I'm not saying it would be easy, nor that it would correlate 1-to-1, but I mean, you could do some analytics, and I know that Netflix has those numbers. And if you are trying to make a movie and release it on Netflix, you could probably, with a reasonable degree of accuracy, predict, make some predictions on how much money it might generate for Netflix. I'm not saying that I'm not saying it would be easy, and two, you'd have to fight pretty hard with Netflix to actually get anywhere. But
does it generate views? Right. Does it bring in subscribers?
You're right on the fact that Hollywood is banking on the theater system, and they are having issues with working with the streaming system.
Well, remember, Rachel Zegler said that I should get paid for every view on Disney Plus because I had to spend hours in a dress on Snow White.
That was so stupid.
Netflix doesn't work the way
Take
things
your
used
paycheck
to.
And get out.
See, cable television used to run where you could see the views as they came in, and advertisers would advertise because of based upon how many people watch that show on a weekly basis. And then they could see if things were working or things were not working. And shows were made cheaper, and then if they weren't doing well, they could get canceled, or they could change up stories where like famously, that one character went upstairs in Happy Days and never returned, or they can mix up the story as it goes along based upon viewer reception. Netflix has to buy their show a season at a time, so it's almost like a gamble.
Right.
They have to pay a lump sum and then just hope it works out, because they don't do a weekly distribution, and the shows are too expensive. You can't do this with Stranger Things. You have to, there's all this special effects and CGI and planning, and you can't just do this weekly. You have to spend huge amounts of money ahead of time and then just hope it pays off down the line. Like the economic model is dramatically different. There's no longer a week by week basis looking at advertising, looking at this is all a subscriber system now. And I don't even know if their economic model is even sustainable, but it's almost like when businesses would take a loss just to drive the other guy out of business. And then in the end, it's like, well, we can't keep up with these numbers because it's not affordable to keep losing money this way. So eventually Netflix is going to end up having to be worth as much as cable television in order to even get off. Like there's so much more complexity to this deal. And on top of that, they are going to own everything for streaming. And talking about huge monopolies, like this is a absurd monopoly. They will be the giant juggernaut of a streaming monopoly when it comes to everything. And a lot of people are like, well, you're not supposed to have monopolies. We should, stop this or cut it. It's like when they used to do trust busting back in the day, those companies pale in comparison to the conglomerates we see now.
Yeah.
Like if they didn't stop Disney from merging with Fox, what makes you think that they're going to stop Netflix when it comes to HBO or Warner Discovery?
Especially because those end up having to be court cases. I mean,
yeah.
The one that broke up the studio system, the vertical integration they had back in the 40s, when this happened in the 40s. I mean, that was a court case that went to the Supreme Court. So, it takes time. You can't there's no just great rubber stamp from the feds. It's a process.
And even if they don't distribute, let's say they still put movies out in theaters, like they make more Batman or Superman movies. This also gives them a huge amount of power over the theater system when they're a streaming company.
Yeah, because they could feel they don't need you.
Yeah.
Because that's how they make their money, period. Whereas the studios, in their desperate attempt to, but I want that money too during COVID, the reality is they don't make money off it. It's still losing them money, so they still need the theater.
And there's been a lot of appeals to the theaters are an institution and the movie experience. And it's like, we don't owe you anything. I get it. You're romantic about the theater experience, but people make decidedly reasonable decisions when it comes to their viewing experience. And I know there are complaints of the theaters are going to die if you don't go. Well, look at an average person. Let's say the economy is not doing well. And going to the theater is going to be $20. And then on top of that, if you bring multiple people, then you're spending $40, $60. On top of that, popcorn, drinks. And then it becomes this huge, expensive endeavor. Or the streaming service I'm already paying for, I just wait a few months and it comes out on streaming.
Mm-hmm.
What was it, a month before Superman hit HBO?
Yeah, I think
Yes. I don't think that was their plan.
James Gunn says it was.
Yeah, after saying there was no way it would happen.
I don't know. I think I'm going to call BS on that one.
No, James Gunn would never lie.
But it's a more financially viable decision to just wait for it to be cheaper and available on your streaming platform, not to pay out of pocket just because I have to see this film.
Yeah, especially where, let's be real, as we've, talked about on this podcast a million times. I mean, has the quality of movies been good enough overall?
To justify it? No.
Some here and there, maybe, but...
And I get James Cameron's romantic about the theaters, but it's like, screw your theaters, James Cameron.
Yeah, and it is sad. I mean, it's an institution, but at the same time, you can't make people change their habits. They've decided, that maybe the theater isn't as big of a deal as it once was. Yeah,
but the theaters, guess what? Stuff evolves, and I know you're banging at the door saying, I'm upset that we're losing the horse and buggy, but the horse and buggy needs to go. Now, does that mean I think theaters will disappear? No, but they'll be more of a premium experience or whatever.
Yeah, art house maybe.
Right.
I mean, if you think about it, we've already had a kind of a wave of theaters disappearing.
Oh yeah.
Drive-in theaters used to be a huge part of our culture. And either of you remember the last time you went to a drive-in theater?
Yeah, it was in high
I've
school.
never been.
And I would still go
I-
if there was one nearby, but I cannot go. And it was cheap.
The last time I went to a drive-in theater was before I was married, and I'll be married 24 years soon.
Poor
So
girl.
it's like, yeah. But if you want the theater system to remain in play, then you need to make it worth our while to support the theater system. We shouldn't just be expected to throw money into a black hole.
How about not
You need to
support
give
it
us
at
a
all?
reason.
How about they give something of value and then we give them money because we see value in it?
Yeah.
Hey, Rad, just so you know, I've been informed that the audio is cutting out sometimes.
You're cutting out. I don't know what to do
okay.
about it.
Yeah, I just want to let you know. I just, data.
All right. So yeah, Hollywood isn't happy with the direction this is going.
No. Well, the
These
thing is, though, like, time is kind of a flat circle. Well, this has happened before. It's not, like, not exactly the same, but, like, with streaming becoming a thing, theaters being in danger, studios scrambling, like, this has been a thing before.
and it's not like
Yeah.
Hollywood helped themselves by going through COVID and then having a strike.
Right afterwards.
Oh, and also being insufferable and being political and talking down to the audience and implying that everybody's sexist for not watching your shitty movie.
Well, and then making horrendous business decisions like, well, we're going to make a streaming service too, and then they dilute the market so horribly that it's like, yeah, none of you are going to get enough money for this to work.
Well, we said this before, but there were too many streaming services, and eventually we were going to have a Demolition Man sort of event if there's only going to be a few restaurants left to survive. Like some of the bigger boys are going to have to eat some of the smaller ones.
Yes.
We can't have all of these streaming services. They're not going to live. And I don't know why they thought that the good time. It's almost like it was the Roaring 20s, and the good times were never going to end during COVID, and people were going to pay for streaming forever.
Yeah.
And it's like, what makes you think that's going to... Eventually the disease will go away.
Yeah, or people will just really want to be outside, even if it's still around.
And once again, people start canceling their subscriptions, and a lot of this started to go... I kept thinking, why do we have Peacock and Paramount and all it?
Yeah.
Discovery.
Yeah.
I mean, I know why. The reason why is the higher ups saw dollar signs and decided to chase it without thinking through what the ramifications of 10 different streaming services were going to be. The thing is that you're going to get more money, or at least you're going to project for yourself that you'll get more money if you offer your own streaming service as opposed to just licensing your content to another streaming service. But at the same time, like you've said, if we have 10 streaming services, somebody's going to get the short end of the shaft, and we're going to dilute the streaming services to such a point that they're not going to be sustainable. And we're seeing that.
Well, look, there's not enough content out there. One dirty little secret when it comes to a lot of these streaming services, and this was 5 years ago or so, that Netflix, it was something like 80% of Netflix, what people were streaming 3 shows.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was Seinfeld, Friends, The Office. That was it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so if your Peacock was at NBC, you look at it and you go, well, if most of the streaming is basically The Office, then we're going to pull our licensing for the stuff we own and we're going to make our own streaming service, and people will just come there and just watch The Office all of the time.
Right.
I don't think people want to have Netflix and Peacock is the problem. But if you have a show that justifies people watching over and over again, like despite all of the expensive shows that people make, on Disney Plus. You know what
Mhm.
the vast majority of views are on Disney Plus?
The older
It's
cartoons?
overwhelmingly Bluey. It's like
okay.
it's
Bluey.
like
Yeah,
yeah, I get it.
95% of Disney Plus streaming is Bluey. And that's just off the top of my head,
I
but
get
that's
it.
how huge Bluey is. It's just it is so big that they're adding a Bluey section into Disneyland.
Yikes, that's amazing.
They're having Bluey stuff where it's like the character, like it is. Parents put it on and just let it run over and over and
Yep.
over again. And because you might sit there and go like, well, freaking big, Disney stuff that they paid huge amounts of money, like Andor. Andor, they spent so much money on Andor. It's not remotely the biggest mover for subscriptions. Bluey is the
No.
biggest mover for subscriptions on Disney Plus. Like they could spend a lot of money. Like as far as big premiums thing that sort of crosses a lot of people, and that's the real last water cooler show that everybody saw is probably Stranger Things.
Yeah, probably.
That just everybody's watching and talking about. But I mean, Game of Thrones kind of had that for a bit. Game of Thrones was the most pirated show on the internet.
Oh yeah, everyone wanted to see it. At least that first season.
Yeah. So there's a lot of concern. And then the question is, are they going to be good stewards of a lot of these brands and IPs?
No.
The joke on Netflix is the real version and the Netflix version where it's suddenly diverse and a lot blacker and a lot more women.
Well, Netflix is known for having excellent second seasons as well.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
no.
Oh no. So it's like, are you convinced that they're going to be good stewards of things like Looney Tunes?
They haven't been so far. Why would I expect them to be good stewards of it now?
Is
Well, what
Harry
about
Potter
the,
going to get blacker?
Yeah, the Harry Potter show. How's
That's-
that going to work?
I know. Harry Potter's in production. It's coming. What's going to happen to Harry Potter? Let
It could
alone,
totally be canceled and canned and just gutted for the insurance money.
well, let alone, is there a universe where we lose the Guns MCU?
Oh my god!
That suddenly they cut it off because it's not working.
Please do.
I feel like
want
Netflix would
that
be a
to
little bit
happen.
more ruthless.
They might be. They're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
well, you've had a couple bad shows and Superman was bad, so we're just not doing it anymore. Imagine they reboot Superman again a couple years from now.
They reboot
We can only
Superman,
hope
but they're
it'll be a
like,
good one.
yeah, but they're like, no, keep the really dark and gloomy Batman. We want the Batman too. Absolutely.
Well, because that was successful is the problem.
yeah, made more money than Superman.
Well, and you want to talk about delusional? The Snyder people have been crawling out from under their rocks.
Oh yeah, they have. Well, yeah.
Hey, look, you know
Uh,
what? If Snyder was still at Netflix, that would be really, really funny. And
He's not.
Like, no, he's not. He's gone. Like, so what the hell do they think is going to happen? Like, no. If he was still there, maybe. I mean, still no, but like, at least it would be somewhat possible. But they just shit canned him.
Henry Cavill moved on.
Yeah, it's over.
I know there's a lot
He's
of
in the middle
wishing and
making a
hoping.
Terrible 40K show for Amazon.
I know. I know there's a lot of wishing and hoping, but no matter the amount of wishing and hoping, you're not going to get the Snyder universe back.
Nope. No more dark and gloomy Superman.
Well,
We
imagine you get Cavill to come back. You really think Ben Affleck's going to show up for Batman again?
No, he's going through another divorce now.
I mean, it's not
he might,
happening.
You know,
There's
for the money.
there's a lot of hopium out there from the Snyder Bros that this is going to happen.
Yeah. They can keep smoking it because it ain't happening.
What do you think happens to Gunn's universe realistically?
I mean, what's most likely is they're going to try and let it run for a while just to see how it does. Thing is, though, I mean, the whole thing is like, are they going to pursue with these previous IPs that weren't theirs and now will be, are they going to try and pursue the theater for a little while, or are they just going to immediately say no? I don't know.
He's under
'Cause if they're
contract till 27.
Yeah,
They could also
maybe
just
just
keep him under
ride it out.
contract, buy him out, and then not give him anything to do.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
true.
just
Yeah.
ride it out.
It's like when WCW was bought by WWE, people just refused to show up, but they still have to pay out their contracts.
Yeah. Ugh, the darkest timeline.
I mean, Gunn doesn't seem interested in continuing Penguin. Netflix would. That's a prestige banger show. It won Emmys, I think.
Yeah, the most baffling thing.
Netflix would boot up Penguin in a second. Penguin season 2 coming to you.
That's because that's in their wheelhouse. Yeah.
Yes, they would love it.
Huh?
And then it's like, how many of these?
Girl, get that out of here.
Well, Supergirl is I think already finished filming,
Oh,
but it's like we're not going to see Man of Tomorrow or whatever the next Superman is. And here's the thing: that's not to say that you can't look. One of the biggest complaints we had with Superman wasn't that the characters were bad or the universe was necessarily bad. It's just the story was bad. So you could theoretically boot up with a new Superman movie with all of the same actors and theoretically make a good Superman movie with someone else. So I don't necessarily think it's
not Mr. Gunn.
Right. I don't necessarily think it's unsalvageable. But you really have to save the universe by like, well, totally and it's all different and better written. You know. Give Gunn quirky characters to work with. Not Superman, because he apparently doesn't have the capacity to make a Superman film.
It's too dumb.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of people sit in resignment going like, well, we had good Batman movies, so if they all suck from now on, we're fine.
Yeah, I mean, you'll always have the old stuff. Buy physical, by the way, everyone.
Yeah, Warner has had this long-running tradition of continually, baffling to me, but continually making animated superhero DC stuff and distributing like the DVD sales from those things. You think Netflix is going to want to sell DVDs of the new Man of Tomorrow animated movie?
Some of their shows, but I know they're kind of getting rid of that.
No. Netflix doesn't care about the DVD sales of all of the animated distributed stuff.
No, it's really low on their list.
There are multiple shows in the works for Game of Thrones. Where do you think Game of Thrones goes from that? And the problem is HBO does prestige television very well. Mostly. How about Dune? Dune's under their umbrella.
Oh my god.
Where's the third Dune movie coming? Like, there are huge questions.
Netflix, go full crazy. Give me the God Worm.
There are huge questions as to what's going to happen down the line with a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, because the Netflix just operates so differently from whoever else would have bought them. It's just completely different realm.
And the hope that things will get better. It's like, remember how hopeful we were when Disney bought Star Wars?
Oh yeah,
we were fools.
My position now is like, what makes you think they're going to do a good job?
But Red, it could be.
I mean, for years and years, I've been sitting here going like, oh, if anything, I would love a Knights of the Old Republic 3. I don't think they would make a good one if they made one now.
No. Not anyone that they would hire to do it. I mean, God, 90% of game studios are the worst.
Yeah. And then we're talking about the acquisitions here. Ross wanted to talk about it.
Oh yeah. So if you go down, you can click on that big picture there, and then you can probably get it sized so it's useful.
Oh Lord, it's so big.
Yeah, you could probably like control mouse wheel it out a little bit.
Uh.
Yeah. There we go. So I don't know. This was in the news. Obviously, Netflix buying, possibly, well, most likely buying Warner, and people were kind of panicking. But the funny thing is this is nothing new. This is a tale as old as time, and a really confusing tale, by the way, because good lord, there's studios that no longer exist as studios used to and have been bought out and rebought a billion times. But we have Universal, Paramount, Warner Brothers. They have Walt Disney here, and then it's listed as Sony, but that should be Columbia, right? We'll get to that.
Okay.
It turns into Sony.
Yes, exactly. So the early years, I mean, it's kind of baffling to and because a lot of these names mean nothing to us now. But like the early acquisitions and everything of Hollywood back in the day was like a lot of like buying what like these other smaller studios or integrating themselves with theater chains, that sort of thing. And it would eventually lead to the vertical integration that got the Justice Department mad at them in the late 40s. Probably the biggest one would be in the late 40s, would be Universal merging with like International Pictures, but really it's not that big of a deal until at post getting broken up with their distribution and exhibition side of things, so the theaters and the distribution companies. And that's when we get like, they start delving into music with in the 60s. We have like Universal buying Music Corporation of America. The other big one, Western acquiring Paramount, and that was a big deal. I forget who it was at one of the.
You still with us, Ross?
Like movies aren't made by studios anymore. They're made by like Gulf Western and like these companies that they're not there to make movies. They're there for this to be a line of profit in their investments.
Yeah, well, and places like Disney are so large; they have their fingers in so many cookie jars. It's not just cartoons or parks. It's television, it's streaming, it's news, it's everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, at one point, Universal was owned by Matsushita, which is Panasonic. In the early '90s, but the other big one later would be in the '80s when Columbia was bought by Coca-Cola. Everybody remember that era? I kind of remember that era.
Holy cow!
Seeing like that, all that stuff, but then eventually, and like that, like if you look at like in the '80s when Columbia was bought by Sony, I mean, look at all of these acquisitions. I mean, it's just it's cancerous. Look at it; it's disgusting.
Well, Japan was riding high.
Yeah, absolutely, they were, and eventually, Sony would buy them and buy all of that nightmare. And
does Sony still own Coca-Cola, or did they buy Columbia from Coca-Cola?
I think they bought Columbia from Coca-Cola, is my understanding.
Because it would be fascinating to be like, I didn't know Sony owned Coke.
That would be weird.
Go to Atlanta. Look at our Coca-Cola. But and this is like we start seeing this sort of homogenization starting like in the 80s and 90s, where like Universal is like merging with Vivendi and NBC, Paramount buying getting acquiring Viacom shares, getting DreamWorks, New Line Cinema merging with Warner Brothers, like and that's famously Disney getting Pixar in the early thousands, like and buying ABC in the 90s. People forget about that too.
Yep.
And we just start seeing like more and more of these smaller companies just being like the Blob, just being bought up.
And also in terms of gaming, if this is going over your head, this is EA
Mhm.
buying all of the other smaller companies and eating them and destroying
Yes.
them.
This is Microsoft buying all these what we
Yeah.
thought were huge companies, and they're nothing compared to the might of Microsoft.
Google.
I mean, yeah. I mean, think about what Microsoft has bought in the last few years. I mean, you have like Blizzard, Activision, Bethesda. Like, it's insane. And it's really interesting to me because I was looking at this, and there's I mean, God, you can deep dive into any number of these acquisitions, and it would be crazy. I mean, just look at Disney here in the mid thousands, like the 2010s. I mean, Lucasfilm and then 21st Century Fox, outrageous.
Lucasfilm was huge.
Yeah, I mean, 21st Century Fox. I mean, that's your Alien, your Predator. I mean, all the TV properties, which were huge.
Yep.
It's just these companies are something beyond our understanding at this point. And when we look back at when the Paramount decision came down from the Supreme Court, and I think it was 48, they had to bust themselves up essentially and then figure out what the hell they were going to do. And they were scared because that came about right as television became a thing. And television hurt them bad. And it scared the crap out of them because it went from in the 40s to where, oh God, I forget the numbers now. I forget how many millions of people went every week to the theater. And it
that was the only
like,
thing you would see the movie that came out once a week.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it dropped, I think it was like by 50%, if I remember right. It's been a while since I listened to that book, but like it was it scared the hell out of them. And when that happened, what they did was they decided to make more movies that were spectacles to make people want to go to the theater. Like, because bearing in mind, yes, television was new, it was exciting, it was different. Think of all the different kind of shows you could see on TV compared to what you could see in the theater. But like the biggest TV screens you could see were like 20-inch and black and white.
Yeah,
like it was
tiny.
not the ideal viewing format, right? So that's when you had like Mike Todd, who famously married Elizabeth Taylor,
and television was very televisions were very expensive. Just to add,
very expensive.
Yeah. There might be one person on your street that could afford a television.
Yeah. But that's when you had like Around the World in 80 Days from Mike Todd, which was like a complete spectacle filled with cameos by famous people. And they also decided in the same breath, we're going to sell the rights to some of our catalog to TV to make money on the side. Yeah. And I'm sure if they hadn't just been recently under scrutiny by the Justice Department, they probably would have thought about buying more into TV just themselves. But I think they were probably under a little bit too much scrutiny. And the funny thing is, we can look at now over the last 15 years, I guess, and see how. And this time it's both TV and studios, mostly because they're all kind of owned by each other. They've all made the wrong decision, I think, or at least they bet way too much on themselves. I mean, because we were talking about earlier how, Netflix is making all this off of our show. Well, we can just have we'll make our own Netflix. And it's like, yeah, but you have that one show that people really want to watch. And so rather than sit back and let Amazon, Apple, Netflix sell the rights to their certain libraries or whatever, their certain shows, rights deals, rather than make money that way, they decided like, well, no, we're gonna do it ourselves. By God, we want a piece of the pie. And like we've mentioned, all they did was water down the market, and there's only so much of the pie they can slice off. So it's like they made the wrong deal, combined with lowering quality. Let's be frank. And combined with bad choices as far as, hey, let's go on strike right after COVID. Oh, great. I mean, all this is like the perfect storm of arrogance, just foolishness, and they are eating a big one because of it. They made all the wrong choices.
Well, and it cannot be underestimated the effect of the sort of political climate pushing movies into being more political with messaging, which also scared off a lot of viewers.
Yeah. frustrated a lot of people.
Damaged the reputations of a lot of these studios. So as you're struggling with a lot of these different issues, on top of that, you've got bad writing and you're cramming down messaging on people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good decisions to be making at this time.
Oh yeah, really smart.
Message is king.
Yes, it's the only answer.
You know, some of that when you're talking about the movie studios getting scared of television and them transitioning the movies that they were making from being the fare that at that point in time they were making to being spectacles to draw people into the theaters.
Mhm.
As you both know, I am a fan of old movies, and
Yeah.
I still watch old movies. And you can see it back watching those older movies. You can kind of see when that happened, when they
Yes.
were like, "Oh, we really need to amp up what we're doing," because old movies a lot of times they used to just be, you know, longer, what you would think of as maybe a longer television episode, really.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's
then
like that's
suddenly
the
they're
movie
like,
they were
we
making
have to
that
go
week.
for spectacle here.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, that's when you started seeing an uptick in, because there was always epics. I mean, famously, I think the earliest epic is Birth of a Nation.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
most
Mark
expensive
on
movie
history.
made at the time.
Yeah. But
First
like
movie to
epics have
be
been a
aired at the
thing.
White House.
Yeah, it's true. Um, there's always been epics, but then like you can see in the 50s, there's an uptick in epics, whether it's Sword and Sandal or like, Giant. And you also see an uptick in musicals too. I mean, that's, by the
Yeah.
time the early 60s hit, that's when you're getting Sound of Music. My
But
Fair
the
Lady.
thing is that you were having these movies that they would maybe do one epic per year kind of
Yeah.
thing, and the rest of the time they were concentrating on their smaller fare, which was still getting them money. People are still coming to the theaters to see the shows, but once you transition to uh, television, where I could just watch that kind of stuff in my living room, then you have to switch over to spectacles all the time. You can't
Yeah.
just do a little like detective show. You have to do a detective show with the stake of the fate of the United States at stake. It can't just be a I'm going to catch this one criminal. It's like, no, I have to, it has to be Die Hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Suddenly it's the Manchurian Candidate, not the Maltese
Yeah.
Falcon. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. I mean, Hollywood has walked this path before. They have subsequently forgotten everything they learned and decided to piss their pants in in the most spectacular way possible.
Well, and
I was thinking that myself.
what this also tells us is that these things evolve. Like
Yes.
everybody sits in this static situation, be like, "Well, the studio system and everything. This is how it's always supposed to be." And it's like it's evolved multiple times over the decades, simply because we live shorter lifespans and we look at timelines and think, "Oh well, we've hit a balance, and this is how." No, it's never been this way, and they've constantly been shifting. I mean, there's certainly questions to ask as to whether or not we should be allowing companies to just eat up smaller companies as much as we have been.
Yes. That is, yeah, that's probably the bigger thing to take from this is like, hey, look at, I mean, they were scared of these companies before. And to be fair, I mean, you know, it is, we went from vertical integration to now it's like vertical and horizontal almost. I mean, they are truly globular. Um, it's maybe hard to understand how much power they had back in the day, but like these companies are bigger than they were by
Yeah.
like margins.
Well,
So,
and you'll also get people to be like, "Well, freaking capitalism, corporations," and it's like, well, first of all, the point of capitalism is competition, and monopolies are not competition. And I suppose we could just get to the ultimate non-competition where the government's just the big corporation and then they distribute all the movies. But we haven't gotten there
yeah,
yet.
I want
Uh,
the American BBC.
right. Um, and a lot of people are like, well, what are they supposed to do? Just let Warner go into bankruptcy? It's like, yes, because you know what would happen?
Yeah.
The different chunks of it would be bought piecemeal by different
Yeah.
companies. That's what should happen.
Hmm.
if they can't maintain the way that they're going, and they obviously can't pay off their freaking debt.
And people might go like, "Well, what about the lost jobs?" And it's like Netflix will not keep all the people there anyway. I mean, this happens every time. There's always redundancies, so you may as well.
Yeah, they're
Just
going
let
to
it
lose a lot
croak.
of people. Yeah, a lot of people in Hollywood are
A
going to lose
lot.
jobs.
Hmm.
Yeah,
The Warner
that's
lot.
one of the things that people don't understand about business is that when another company buys a company, they don't just buy it to maintain the status quo. They come in and they take what they want and they get rid of what doesn't make any sense for them. And so you're going to have a ton of people that are either taking severance before the buyout happens or after the buyout happens, they're being laid off.
Oh, I just wanted to. I wasn't sure if I was going to use this, but just this is the studio market share from the last year, back in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of
Disney's
interesting.
there on top.
I would have thought Amazon would have had more of a chunk, but they super don't.
The movie studio market share? No. Yeah. I mean, they might spend huge money, but they're trying to enter into the market and they're not succeeding
Yeah.
so far. You know what also gets brought up? Well, Warner Brothers Game Studio.
Oh my God! Yeah, yeah.
We
absolutely.
forget that Warner's also a big company.
They've definitely had some big hits lately too. Oh.
Yeah. Who knows what's going to happen to the game portion of Warner Brothers?
It'll be sold off or quietly shoved under a rug somewhere, one of the two.
Thing is, though, Netflix has games.
They do.
They
I don't
do, but
know.
they're basically mobile games.
Sure, maybe they want to change it. We don't know. We cannot understand the machinations of the Netflix. It is an enigma.
They're basically going to take that game studio and convert it to mobile games from now on. You guys stop making AAA games, mobile games. Order of the day.
So Bloomberg further stated that Gunn and Safran's biggest success of the comic giant has been synergy they've given to films, comics, and gaming. It's difficult to assess how their positions at DC Studios will be impacted at all, given how new WBD sale announcement is. However, things do appear to be looking good for studio executives following the sale announcement. John Campea from YouTube's The Campea Show stated he contacted Source regarding Gunn and Safran's future at the company. What they are clear on is that Michael DeLuca, co-chair of Warner Brothers Films, is staying. Pam Abdi, also co-chair of Warner Brothers Films, is staying. And then, of course, James Gunn. James Gunn, co-CEO of DC Studios, is staying, leading the DC creative, according to Cambia. However, his source was not clear on Peter Safran's fate. What he said to me about Peter Safran was, I don't know for sure, but I think it's kind of assumed.
We know that James Gunn has a contract with Warner until what you said, 2027.
Yep.
So basically, yeah, it makes sense that he would go along. It doesn't mean that the what are they calling it now? The DCU is out of danger.
Well, do you want to confuse this conversation even further, everybody?
Oh no.
Want to make it bigger? Rumor behind the scenes is Paramount is going to try a hostile takeover before losing to Netflix.
Oh my God. We want that debt, damn it.
Because believe it or not, there is a scenario where Paramount just starts buying up shares of Warner before the deal can go through because it's publicly traded, and then hostile take over the company from within.
Oh my.
That's amazing.
That would be a fascinating turn of events because Paramount could do that. Like they could.
Yeah. I want to see that happen just for fun.
Well, not to be, destroy the world and let it burn, but I don't care about these studios. So the hilariousness of Paramount trying to hostile take over Warner before Netflix deal goes through.
It's pretty delicious.
Yes, it is.
Now, obviously, this is a rumor.
And then in 10 years, Paramount has to come begging to Netflix, and Netflix is going to be like, "You remember what happened 10 years ago?"
This is a rumor, and it'll be hilarious if it comes to pass. There are a lot of facets to this conversation, a lot of which we haven't touched on. Is there anything we missed that you want to address? How about DC going over? What about wrestling? Anything, anyone that we haven't touched on that you want to bring up before we move on out of this massive conversation that could last people talking about and the deal for years to come?
I do think it would be very funny if Netflix just lets AEW exist on Netflix with WWE. I mean, I don't think that could happen. There's something in the contract that won't let that, but it would be very funny. And then just have actual direct competitorship. But
Yeah.
we'll never see it, but it would be really hilarious.
It would be funny. Of course, the rumor is that WWE is going to be bought out by the Saudis anyway.
Good Lord. Vince leaves and everything goes to hell. Look at this. Jesus.
You just got to let Vince do some inappropriate stuff behind the scenes and everything's fine.
You know what? He keeps the company with a big tower in Connecticut and they have their own app. I miss those days.
Oh, goodness. What's going to happen to Batman, everybody?
Matt Reeves
Batman
will
will be
make
fine.
another one that's really dour, and then we don't know.
The Snyderverse is back.
Yeah, that'll happen. Even older Ben Affleck, who is going through another divorce, will be really stoked about it.
We could have a Harry Potter Stranger Things crossover.
Oh no, Rhett, stop. No, I hate this.
Um,
Not the only way Harry Potter would be actually any good.
Yeah.
Oh.
You could have a Scooby-Doo Stranger Things crossover.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
How about instead of trying to make their own Game of Thrones, they just own Game of Thrones?
That they just basically cancel all Game of Thrones adjacent IPs because
Netflix
we don't
tried
need to do this anymore.
Netflix and multiple other studios tried to create a Game of Thrones, and it didn't work. Do you remember what Netflix's competitor that they thought they could do was?
The Witcher.
No, earlier.
Oh.
No.
Early Game of
I don't
Thrones.
remember.
Marco Polo.
Oh my God, that's right, Rhett.
And that was expensive show. It is a big, huge scale show with huge amounts of actors and battles, and it is a big show.
Spendy.
Yeah, it was a very spendy show. Early Netflix. 2 seasons of that, and then a spin-off show. Everybody forgets about Marco Polo.
Yeah.
I did. And I even watched the first season of it.
Yeah. It's okay. That's like parts are good and parts are like, do we need all this nudity? But that's the same point I had with Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Oh boy, the future is bright. We're becoming megacore. Cyberpunk future is on its way. If we didn't have enough to talk about, news time.
The Distracted Gamer Podcast. Big steamy pile of news stuff.
Believe it or not, a lot of news has happened. Consequential, large news. Let's head first to the box office. Guess what, everybody? Horrifically, Zootopia 2 has shattered everything. In 10 days, it is now past like Gravity and its total box office.
Oh my lord!
It has already surpassed Wicked, which the Wicked ladies are really upset about. I think coming into its second week, it's at something like 700.
Good God! What?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah. Zootopia 2, the conglomerate, devastating juggernaut that is Zootopia 2, is destroying the theater system.
Oh my God!
And a weirdly large amount of it, like 50% at least out the gate, was coming from China.
Oh
Not
yes, we're
surprising.
infecting China with our colonialist furries.
It was that first week, it was something like 500 million, and like half of that was China.
Wow.
Apparently China's I think it's Shanghai's Disney has a Zootopia area. They love Zootopia 2. Personally, whether or not you like Zootopia 2, it's doing very successful, and my opinions have no bearing on anything. I think Zootopia sucks. I hate the first Zootopia. I thought it was terrible. But clearly I'm in the minority of opinion because this movie is a juggernaut that will not stop. And the world is bowing and being crushed by the weight that is furry romance in Zootopia 2. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 has come out, and apparently it sucks and is not as good as the first one.
Oh no!
Yeah. And the big news, this last bit is the devastation and huge conglomeration that is Zootopia 2.
Oh God!
As Wicked
What a
kind
nightmare.
of falls into the background.
Ugh.
And Predator Badlands is in a 62% drop.
Oh no! But I was assured it was such a fine and successful film.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Your opinion on a movie, and I know some people love Predator Badlands, your opinion on a movie and whether or not you think it's good has no bearing on whether or not it's successful. If all of the movies I hated were not successful, Avatar wouldn't be a thing. But it is a thing.
Oh.
It is a large, massive thing, and you can't stop it. Apparently, BBC is losing $1 billion a year in revenue fees.
Holy cow.
The explanation is that either the cost has gone up or households are evading fees, or flat out saying that they don't need the TV licenses.
Mm-hmm.
One must also add that America is no longer funding the BBC. So that might be an addition to it. Yeah. We've briefly touched on Stranger Things. I don't like Stranger Things season 5. I think it sucks. I really like season 1, and I'm okay with season 2, and season 3 is terrible. And then season 4, the first half is bad, and the second half is all right. It's pretty good. Season 5 is just awful. But once again, my opinion doesn't have bearing because it is shattering Netflix records. Everybody is rewatching the previous seasons. Basically, all previous seasons have been dominating the top 10 for Netflix for the past week or two. Everybody's got to see the final season of Stranger Things.
Either you're getting caught up to be able to watch season 5 because you're like, oh, well, I better jump on the bandwagon now. Or you're rewatching seasons 1 through 4 to remember what happened leading up to 5. It makes sense that they would be dominating at this point.
Yeah, just dominating Netflix. And we get a new promo pictures for the Starfleet Academy, which everybody's been laughing at. The weirdly Gen Z gay looking picture of a Hallmark image.
I love CW shows. What do you mean?
Isn't this how a Klingon would act, Ross?
Oh no!
Yes, they're in touch with their feminine side.
Holding
Kapla!
hands. Kapla. Just to give you an idea, Klingons are so belligerent that their scientists have complexes and PTSD by living in Klingon society.
Yeah, by getting bullied by the Chad warrior cast.
Yeah, because they're like, ew, you do science, like this is necessary and we need it, but like, you loser.
What a dork. I am here to kill with a batleth.
Now Klingons are, touchy-feely and friends, and this is going to be the Gen Z. Just to clarify, this show was pitched as Harry Potter in space.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
What a stupid idea.
And as someone who's just embraced the fact that Star Trek is dead, see, that's the thing. We're talking about Netflix buying all these brands, and it's like, I can't trust anybody to be good stewards of any of these brands. Thinking about how much they've ruined all the other IPs that are out there. Star Wars, Star Trek, Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Game of Thrones got where, like, every big brand has been damaged in some way. Marvel. So yeah, Star Trek Academy, Starfleet Academy, just no. The answer is, this is not the Star Trek I wanted. But if you look at fans, well, they could see the writing on the wall with Star Trek. You would go to Star Trek conventions, and what was the problem, Ross?
Are you talking about like fan fiction?
No. The problem was everybody was old.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they know
Yeah.
that young people aren't interested in Star Trek. So that's what the new Star Trek was supposed to be, trying to attract Gen Z. But Gen Z don't, like, simply dabbing on the deck of the Enterprise is not going to change. Like, don't talk down to your people and dumb it down to make it for better audiences. People want smart television, and Star Trek is smart television. Well, not anymore.
Yeah.
But it was.
It
And,
was
you know,
lovely.
this is the fate of Star Trek. Mike Stoklosa is basically spinning in his grave.
Oh, I'm so excited for him to get hurt physically by watching this.
He's so sad now at the state of Star Trek, and he's somebody who just loves Star Trek.
Enjoy, dork. Have fun with the pain.
You could go on long conversations about what Star Trek is supposed to be and what it's turned into. And a lot of people will have these, like, if you listen to Red Letter Media talk about it and their opinion is what Star Trek is supposed to be, what I like about Star Trek is not always the same as what they like about Star Trek. But I could tell you, it ain't this. It's not Starfleet Academy. But, you know, I guarantee someone in this picture is gay.
Yeah, very true.
So
And
look,
there's somebody that's non-binary, and yeah. The thing is that you could get away with a Starfleet Academy show. You could make it. I think that if you did it right, it could be a gateway into the Star Trek universe for a lot of people. But you have to basically honor the roots of Star Trek and make it a smart show, and not worry about, like, making the Klingons touchy-feely and crap
yeah,
like that.
you're talking about a universe with competent writers that doesn't exist.
Oh.
Very true.
They all retired or died. People know how to write stuff anymore or dead.
Well, they were chased out of the industry, if nothing else.
Not entirely related to the pop culture stuff we talk about, but I thought this was hilarious. What is Campbell Soup's executives came out and said Campbell Soup is for poor people and it's disgusting and bad. And he wouldn't eat it. Well, he got let go.
Please.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh. Oh man, that's awesome.
Here's some good news. Tomb Raider's Amazon TV show will reinvent the franchise on a massive scale.
Oh.
Because if
my
anything,
gosh.
if you love Tomb Raider, you want it to change. The Amazon show, headed by Fleabag star and writer Phoebe Waller-Bridge, will take the helm, spearheading the next chapter of Tomb Raider, launching an ambitious reimagining of Lara Croft universe. Look forward to hating Tomb Raider in the future, everybody.
Yeah, well, Phoebe Waller-Bridge has been so successful with things recent. Oh,
She had, yeah. She's one of those darlings. She had that one show that everybody loved, and then nobody likes anything she does after that.
yeah, she's insufferable.
Here's a good bit of news. Masters of the Universe star says his He-Man will be a handshake between what traditional masculinity and femininity are.
Oh my gosh.
Look forward to the classic image.
He's He-Man.
The classic image of masculinity to be a lot more feminine.
Oh.
Thank God, finally.
Is there any more brands we can ruin in the coming future?
Oh, I'm
Do they
excited
not
to see which
understand?
ones.
Do they not understand that we use the word He-Man in a certain context because of He-Man and because he was masculine and not bridging the gap between masculinity and femininity?
No, Kevin Smith understands that changing everything is going to go really well with the fans, and people aren't going to hate him. Oh yeah, he did change He-Man in that Netflix show, and everybody hated Kevin Smith. Yeah, he got a lot of anger for that show.
Good.
Yeah.
They should start pulling like a Tim Walls thing. I'm not advocating this, but have you seen what's been happening with him?
Yes.
Not to get
Yes.
political, but people have been driving by his house and calling him a tard. He literally he literally publicly came out and said, "Stop driving by my house and screaming that I'm a tard." Well, massive concerning news as RAM prices are skyrocketing. The largest RAM distributor, one of the largest RAM distributors, I think they are the largest, Micron Technology, that distributes to people who make their own computers with their own desktops and stuff. After nearly 30 years, they're going to stop selling RAM to consumers.
Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh.
Well, there goes the consumer market.
If RAM hasn't been skyrocketing in price, yeah, this is going to be a thing. You know why they're canceling?
AI,
Yeah,
presumably.
they're distributing to AI instead of consumers.
I do have one question.
Yep.
Is this a case of they're not going to distribute to consumers directly, but then some of the people who are buying RAM from them still will, or is it just completely dipping
I think
out?
they're out of the consumer market.
Oh my God! Yeah, that's not good.
It could be that there will be a middleman that's going to buy from them and sell to the consumers, but that's going to mean that we're going to get a markup.
The consumer RAM is drastically different, Jason. They're making these large server-style RAM sticks.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, they are not making desktop RAM for people. This isn't like, we're just not going to sell to you. No, they're completely shifting development.
Oh God. Okay. Yeah,
so expect RAM prices to quadruple.
Great.
Yeah. I mean, this could mean that an enterprising company could move in to fill the gap in the market, but
do you know how hard it is to make advanced microchips?
Oh yeah. It's gonna be really bad on the consumer for a long time.
To even get up and running to the point where you can kind of making stuff, we're talking about a 10-year project.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
It does need to happen though.
Well, sure, but if you get more money by selling to like AI or graphics cards going to crypto mining, like we could see in a weird way the slow demise of the personal self-built desktop
Oh God! Don't put that evil out there. I don't want this.
Suddenly
I'm not even a big PC guy.
Suddenly that overpriced Steam machine is not so
Overpriced.
overpriced anymore, is it?
Basically, you're right. If we can't get our own RAM anymore, we're going to have to be buying from. We're not going to be able to mod. That whole market is going to be gone.
Prices are going to increase. Yay! Things are exciting, everybody.
It's great.
News only I care about. Massive announcements at Creative Assembly. Yay!
Oh,
The most shocking turn of
Brett's
events
alley.
is the announcement of Medieval 3. Now, to tell you why this is a big deal is people have been begging for Medieval 3 for a long time now. This is the most requested game of the classic Total War fans for quite a few years. I remember playing Medieval 2. It is very old compared to... They've had like 8 games out since Medieval 2. So Medieval 3's announcement, everybody's like, oh my gosh, the one thing we've been asking for. And also, are we convinced they're going to do a good job? Because I've seen people as like, well, this is what I want from Medieval 3. It needs to carry over the good things from Medieval 2 and this, and this. And it's like, what makes you, if you hated all of the last like historical outings and you don't like that they're going into the fantasy realm, what makes you think they're going to do a good job with 3?
Yeah. It is because I'm
We're
not
eternal
the biggest,
optimists.
well, we can hope, but I'm not the biggest Total War guy, but I just remember hearing like how much they've dumbed down the game since Medieval 2.
Oh, immensely.
So it's like I don't think it's going to be what people want it to be. I mean, maybe listen, we had as close to a comeback as we've ever had with Battlefield, going from 2042 to 6. Like, that is probably the closest we'll ever see. I mean, is Battlefield 6 perfect? No. Is it just Battlefield 4 with updated graphics? Absolutely not. Is it the closest it's been in a while? Oh yeah, for sure. It's like 70% there.
So we take 20 steps in the wrong direction and then 5 steps back in the right direction.
Probably. Especially with CA, let's be honest.
Yeah, especially with CA. Publisher is Sega. We also get a Lord of the End Times DLC announced for Warhammer 3, which made everybody go, oh, is this the last DLC that's going to end Total War Warhammer 3, the most popular game they've ever made? Apparently, no, they still have plans for more DLC. So
that seems really dumb, Rhett.
So we're going to have an end time scenario where the world comes to an end, but also there could be more end time scenarios where the world comes to an end. We're going to see Nagash, and in terms of fantasy, he's basically the undead god incarnate. We are going to see a rejiggering of Archaon, the Everchosen.
Oh.
A little bit of redesign and campaign refix. And they alluded to a surprise at the Game Awards on December 11th. A Total War next major release. Everybody thinks this is going to be a 40K Total War. I would hate that.
Oh, that would be interesting.
I would hate it.
I don't know how that's going to work.
It would suck. Because 40K doesn't translate to unit tactics and block squads.
Not really.
40K is more modern military strategy than anything. It would not translate. And I know everybody's like, well, what we need is freaking 40K. And it's like, no! 40K needs to stay in the realm of the Dawn of Wars, not the Total War.
Yeah.
I mean, then there's people going, oh, we want a Game of Thrones. And I was like, Game of Thrones is not popular anymore like it used to be.
No. I mean, you and I talked about, like, had this been 6 years ago, even 6 years ago, maybe. 10 years ago, absolutely. But it's too late. They've ruined the show has ruined that. Because it'd be too hard to do it after or before, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think the only real logical option would be like a Lord of the Rings, but that's not going to happen. But that's the only real good option from my standing. It's probably going to be 40K and it's going
Yeah.
to suck. And if it's Age of Sigmar, then I'm not buying anything from them.
Oh my god, if it's Age of Sigmar, I mean, what a stupid idea that would be. I mean, I agree. I think probably Lord of the Rings would be a really smart option, but I think you're right. It's probably going to be 40K.
Yeah. Well, we got big announcements as to what the new Doom Avengers Doomsday cast will going to be, and it's going to be divided into 6 teams, and we got an idea of all of the people that are going to be on it because we got a big production like image leaked from some presentation in Italy
Oh,
of images of what we're expecting down the road. So let's look. Doctor Doom is going to have Robert Downey Jr. We're going to have the Fantastic Four from the highly successful and didn't lose money Fantastic Four movie.
it's super successful, biggest movie.
We're going to have Wakandans with Shuri and the bodyguard of Black Panther and this guy, Namor. Remember Namor?
But he's not Wakanda.
Yeah, well, he's
something else.
He's on the Wakanda team. After murdering her mother and a bunch of Wakandans, he is going to work with them.
I don't think. Oh,
He's the boy without love, Ross. He's Namor.
You know, Doctor Doom is such a big bad that everybody has to band together to fight him. So
apparently, that's not how the story's going to go.
Oh.
We have the Avengers, Thor.
Oh, my favorites.
Paul Rudd, Tom Hiddleston, Anthony
Loki.
Mackie.
Oh.
Apparently, Danny Ramirez as the
Who's
other
that idiot
Falcon.
on the end?
He is the new Falcon after Anthony Mackie became Captain America.
Oh.
Because everybody gives a shit about him.
Where's Marvel's Katie?
Nowhere to be seen.
Oh, thank God. Get rid of Aquafina. Fire their ass.
Thunderbolts, everybody's favorite Thunderbolts, is going to be in it.
Second biggest movie this year.
Good.
Oh, wait.
So expect these
Filmed
people.
Partially in My Beautiful City.
We're going to have X-Men with Patrick Stewart, Rebecca Romaine with Mystique, Channing Tatum as Gambit, James Martin's back at Cyclops, and Alan Cumming as Nightcrawler.
Oh, we love that.
Well, and remember, Alan Cumming had horrible things to say about making this movie.
Yes, that's right. Oh, right.
Just to clarify, if you're not aware, he basically said that you spent a lot of time recording by yourself in a green screen. Not only not knowing who you're talking to, but what you're doing, and you're not playing off of anybody. And I guess a lot of it was because of secrecy to try and keep it under wraps. And he's like, I don't even know who I'm talking to when I'm doing my scenes.
Great.
Oh, good. More good news and green flags about this movie. I see them everywhere.
Apparently, they're supposed to work together, and it'll degenerate to them fighting each other.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, good. That's what we want to see. We want to see our heroes kill each other rather than going after the bad guys. Did they learn nothing?
Yes. Yeah, they did.
I want to see Professor Xavier get torn in half by something.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, watch a lot of X-Men die really quickly. It'd be like suddenly Magneto's head explodes in the beginning or something. Just expect that. So look forward to the big, desperate Hail Mary attempt to revitalize the Marvel Universe as Avengers Doomsday comes down, which is already done filming, apparently.
Now for the hilarious post-production, and definitely not reshoot.
Definitely not reshoots. Isn't Robert Downey Jr. getting paid $60 million per movie for this?
Yeah, and gets to have an entire trailer city for him and his crew.
The Russos are also getting paid $60 million.
Jesus Lord. This movie's going to have to make a $50 quadrillion for
To
it
be
make any
successful.
money.
Like, how do they not lose money on this horror story?
Well, based on
This is
names,
gonna crash
that's
and
all they're
burn.
banking on. Ugh.
I alluded
This
to
is
it.
going to crash and burn.
It very well could. I alluded to it, but Andor, we actually have a really good idea about how much Andor costs now, and it looks to be upwards of $705 million.
Holy shit.
The total cost of
Oh.
Andor, $705 million. This is more than, like, I think any Star Wars movie if you count the whole show.
Yeah, I think so. Because what did they end up saying that Rise of Skywalker was? Because it ended up being something crazy, right?
Yeah.
It's like 600 million that they finally admitted to.
Yeah. Now, Andor's
And-
good. Where'd all that money go? I can't tell you.
I mean,
mean-
it does seem to be a very pretty movie, and it does have really good sets, but 700 million worth? God damn, I don't know about that.
It's a good
Basically,
show.
They just bought some gold bars and hid them around the set.
Ooh, is it like yeah, can you hunt for them? Do you get to keep them if you find it?
Jason, honestly, if they built stuff out of gold, it might have been cheaper.
Well, you could always resell it as a thing. You could melt down the
Yeah,
sets
yeah.
and sell it.
Yeah.
Bob Iger is stepping down as CEO.
Dear God,
Woo! About time.
he takes
This
his
time,
7
don't
showers.
let him get back in.
Yep. The new
Jason,
chair.
You need to put
he needs to
something
take
in
his 7 showers a day in his office.
You need to put something in the exit contract that says you cannot get your job back.
Nah,
Listen,
If you
he'll
want to
stick
come work for
around.
Perfect.
Disney again, here's a mop and a bucket.
He'll be lurking in the shadows.
Here's the perfect way to get rid of him. Put a bouillon cube in
As
his
he
shower head.
walks around mopping the floors at Disney World, he'll be muttering, "I used to run this place."
Apparently, the new chairman of the board is going to be James Gorman, the former CEO of Morgan Stanley.
Oh,
well.
you know, big entertainment
That
guy,
bodes
clearly.
well.
Bob
Let's
Iger,
get the banker in on this.
who presided over a huge amount of acquisitions for the company, and though some successes, also some failures, a lot of failures near the end. So, Bob Iger,
Oops.
everybody. Now,
So whoopsie.
I came out fully admitting that, hey, it looks like the numbers for Ghost of Yote seem to be pretty good. Last we checked in,
Yeah.
it was like 3 million, like a month ago or so. Now,
Yeah,
take
at
this for
least.
what it is, because this information is coming from Grums, who has his biases. But it looks like his
Yes.
sources say that the accurate number of sales at the moment is about 4 million. So despite the fact that being decent, which we all said it was, it is under Ghost of Tsushima by about 20%.
Uh-oh. Yikes.
Nobody
Just
makes a
what you want.
sequel to
Just
sell
what you-
less.
Yeah.
No, it's not preferable. At the very least, you want it to sell less and make more, but that's hard to do.
And the final story, which I was going to reserve until the very end so we can discuss the fallout and the massive devastation that was locations for X. So, Ross,
yes.
what does this mean? Locations for X.
Well, you
That
see,
can be good.
what had happened is people were starting to suspect that some of these people on X/Twitter were maybe not who they said they were, or at least not where they were from, what they said they were. And so
Yep.
X rolled out a new feature where you can check the actual location of where these various accounts are from. And surprise, surprise, there's a whole lot of people from very foreign places involving themselves in very national politics, or just national matters in general,
Yeah, massive MAGA
and
accounts.
trying to sell themselves off as like based Uber accounts.
Yeah, massive MAGA
lefty
accounts
some of them.
from Bangladesh. An account that was posing to be a Native American advocating for returning of native lands from India.
Yeah.
I think there was an Indian that's in charge of the most popular Poland nationalism account.
Yeah, yes, that's my favorite one.
Poland forever. And so you might go, oh, why would they fake this? And it's like, well, they get paid for views.
Yeah.
So they're stoking, they basically say extreme stuff on Twitter to stoke discourse, to get attention, and then they get paid for their attention. And we're finding out that a lot of these like extremist accounts that represent what you might consider bad things on politics that you disagree with are actually people not even from this country. Shucking them out from India.
And because they don't get paid in their currency, right? They get paid in dollars.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, that's big. That's big money.
Somebody figured out how to extort. No, that's not the word I'm looking for here.
Take advantage.
Abuse the system, and we just let them.
Yeah, and the fallout has been dramatic because not only does it look like that there's a lot of foreign influence on American politics and cultural discourse, but also a lot of these accounts go silent all of a sudden, and they're all really upset that they've all lost their revenue stream of shit posting on Twitter.
Suck it.
Yikes.
Being
That's all I've got
belligerent
to say.
and
You
attacking
don't
other
deserve
people.
that money.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
all over the place. A lot of it's India and that area, but there was a lot of African Twitter accounts and
Yeah.
a lot of foreign Twitter accounts. And it's been pretty glorious to watch because the fallout has just been something to behold. The internet's a special
A lot of
place.
people called it beforehand,
That these aren't, these are agitators from other countries.
Yeah.
Well,
Proven right.
when you see somebody claiming to be American talking about how bad Israel is, and then you find out he's a Saudi.
Yeah.
Or you see somebody claiming to be from Britain and talking about how Ukraine's terrible and they should go down, and then he's from Russia. Like,
interesting.
I remember some people trying to mask it, like that Saudi guy was like, actually, I am American. I just moved here because the jobs are so much better.
Yeah, sure.
And
I remember hearing that story.
He kept claiming, no, I am an American. It's like, yeah, nobody believes you anymore. Oh, good times. And back to space, everybody.
Hey, Rhett.
Hey, Ross.
Speaking of Fallout. Guess what's coming out soon?
Oh, season 2. Yeah.
Not next week, but the week after.
Yeah. We were expecting this. Me and Ross watched season 1. And
we were.
It's not good, but also we had fun with some of it.
Yeah, there was aspects of it. I mean, Ella Purnell and Walton Goggins are probably the highlights.
Yeah. There's
some bits in it that could be great. There's a lot of trash, and
they ruin a lot of Fallout lore.
They've ruined Fallout lore. Now they're going to be in Vegas, which is my favorite game.
Yeah, they're going to ruin the lore
really
of the one game that you really love. Yeah.
But guess who's going to be in it? There's an actor in it that you would not guess would be in it, but he is.
Oh, who?
Culkin.
Who?
Macaulay Culkin.
Who is he in it?
He's a part of the Legion.
Kevin.
Oh, Macaulay Culkin in the Legion? Excuse me?
Uh-huh.
The hyper-masculine Roman Legion?
Yeah, I mean, I bet he's going to be one of those spies. I forget the name of them right now off the top of my head.
He's going to be there to explore their softer side.
He's going to set up a complex series of traps.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a slimy piece of crap. But who knows? I mean, I don't know. We'll see. In the show. And he's
Mr.
in
House is still alive in the canon now, I guess.
Legion. But NCR is gone, and the Legion is still there. That means
Yeah,
like
so
the worst ending.
The worst ending happened in Fallout.
Like, what the fuck? Like, what do you? And they're trying to play it off like, no, we're gonna respect it. It's like you already have it. Like, ugh.
They destroyed the only hope for the apocalyptic future, and the horror Legion is still living. Like, the Legion gets destroyed if you play the right ending in that thing. They just degenerate into warring factions.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Look forward to that.
I'm so excited. Thank God it's releasing weekly.
Yeah. My body's been doing weird stuff. I've been on a fast, man.
Oh, yeah. You seen stuff yet?
No, well, it's not like my mind is cloudy, but my body, I don't know how to describe it. It feels not necessarily weak. Well, it's weak in the I have no energy to do things, but it's not that I have no energy to be awake, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like being active, suddenly all my energy drains, but it's not like I lack energy to be up. But it's not like I've got brain fog or I've got a headache or anything. I feel fine. If anything, I feel like a light feeling.
Oh, weird. Interesting.
And you might go, oh, you're fasting? No, this isn't the one meal a day. I haven't eaten for 5 days.
God. Are you still taking vitamins or something?
Yeah, and I drink water and like a Gatorade and stuff.
Good.
You gotta replenish those electrolytes, replenish my fluids.
It's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes. Brawndo has got what plants crave. And Brawndo is what you should water your plants with, everybody.
Absolutely. And I'm going to send you a case of Bronto.
Other than that, everything's just been awful here. Getting by.
Oh.
We'll see how I afford anything for Christmas, but it's that special time of magic and blah, blah, blah. It's been a special podcast and a absurd amount of stuff to talk about that we hope you've enjoyed your time. If you have, subscribe, comment, like, all those good things. It's good for the podcast. If you like the content we make, then it helps us along the way. And if not, then, this isn't for you.
You should still comment and tell us about it. And help us anyway.
Yeah. If you make negative comments, it also helps us in the algorithm.
So please do. I beg you. I will read them. And you will probably ruin like an hour and a half. So you got that going for you.
I take everything personal.
Very.
Very personal. But thanks, everybody.
So I don't have to.
Yeah. But it's time we get out of here. Goodbye.
Bye.
I nearly clicked the wrong one. There we go.
If you like the show, follow Rhett, Jason, Ross, and Silver, the world's most lethally stupid internet personalities, on Twitter at DGPodcast or on Instagram at DistractedGamers. If you liked or hated what you heard here today, you can email them at thedistractedgamers@gmail.com and share your feelings. Not that Jason would care, since he hasn't any, of course.
Oh my God, it's so juicy.